Hello student, I am Palle sir from Palle Science Academy Udgir. Today I will start 9th chapter of 10th standard carbon compounds. So first, the carbon is a non-metallic element. We know that carbon is a non-metallic element and it is present in atmosphere as well as in Earth's crust. Carbon is found in nature in elemental state as well as in a compound state. For example, elemental stages are such as diamond. It is found in nature in the form of diamond, graphite, fullerene, and also there is a coke, etc. And this carbon is also found in nature in the form of a compound such as carbon dioxide, carbonate such as calcium carbonate, sodium carbonate, etc. The Earth's crust contains 0.02% of carbon in the form of element as well as in the form of a compound, and the atmosphere contains about 0.03% of carbon in the form of carbon dioxide. So next we will say the bonding in carbon compound. Which type of bond carbon forms? So first we will say carbon. There is bonding in carbon. Bonding in carbon compounds. Carbon is represented by capital letter C and its atomic number is 6. Its electronic configuration is 2, 4. This is the first shell, K shell, and this is the L shell. L shell of carbon contains only 4 electrons and it can neither donate 4 electrons nor accept 4 more electrons to complete its octet. But it shares 4 electrons with other element and also with itself to form bond, and such bond is called as a covalent bond. Carbon share 4 electrons with other elements forming the covalent bond. These are the 4 electrons. Carbon shares 4 electrons with other elements such as hydrogen or other elements such as halides, oxygen, nitrogen, etc. and form covalent bond. Carbon can neither takes 4 more electrons because carbon has only 6 protons and 6 electrons. Carbon has 6 protons and 6 electrons. If it takes 4 more electrons to complete its octet, 6 protons cannot hold on to 10 electrons. Therefore, it cannot accept 4 more electrons to complete its octet, and it cannot donate 4 more electrons because it requires immense amount of energy. Therefore, it cannot donate 4 electrons. It only shares 4 electrons to form covalent bonds. Did you get or not? Say covalent bond. The bond which is formed by sharing of electrons called as covalent bonds, and the compounds which are formed with the covalent bonds are called as covalent compounds. This covalent bond is represented by using electron dot structure, and also it can be represented by drawing small line between the symbols of atoms. For example, these are the 2 hydrogen atoms. Here 1 electron is present in its outermost shell. Here 1 electron is present in its outermost shell. Both shares electrons with each other, forming the covalent bond. Here both shares 2 electrons and form the covalent bond. This covalent bond is represented by small line joining the symbols of hydrogen, and we can write hydrogen molecule as H2. Similarly, the double bond is formed by sharing of 2 electrons. There is for example, oxygen. Here oxygen, the symbol of oxygen is a O, and its electronic configuration, there is a 2,6 because its atomic number is 8. Its outermost shell contains only 6 electrons and it requires 2 more electrons to complete its octet. Therefore, oxygen shares 2 electrons with other oxygen atom, forming double bond between 2 atoms of oxygen. Here this is the oxygen, these are the 6 electrons present in outermost shell. This is the second oxygen, these are the 6 electrons present in outermost shell. Each oxygen atom shares outermost 2 electrons, and form double bond. This is the double bond which is covalent, and this double bond can be represented using electron dot structure, such as here this is the nucleus, this is the first orbit or first shell which contains 2 electrons, this is the second shell which contains 6 electrons. Here these are the 6 electrons. This is the oxygen atom, electronic configuration 2,6. Another oxygen atom shares 2 electrons with first one. Here these are the 6 electrons, and here's same oxygen, this is the oxygen and electronic configuration is 2,6. After sharing electrons, they form double bond. Here these are the 2 electrons, this is the nucleus, these are the 2 electrons, here these are the 2 electrons. In this way we get oxygen double bond oxygen. We can write oxygen molecule like this. Here oxygen shares its outermost 2 electrons to complete its octet and form double bond. Therefore, we can say that the bond is formed by sharing of 2 electrons. Therefore, oxygen molecule is formed. Similarly, we can see another one example, that is nitrogen. Atomic number of nitrogen is 7. Its electronic configuration is 2,5. And nitrogen shares its 3 electrons with another nitrogen atom, forming a triple bond. Here 5 electrons. Outermost shell of nitrogen contains 5 electrons. Another nitrogen contains 5 electrons in its outermost shell, and it shares 3 electrons with each other, forming triple bond. This is the nitrogen. Nitrogen forms a triple bond to complete its octet. Or this is about covalent bond and covalent compound. Ending point, we will see hydrocarbons. The carbon compounds contain many elements. The hydrocarbon means the compounds which are formed by carbon and hydrogen, only the 2 elements, called as hydrocarbons. The simplest and fundamental hydrocarbon is methane, which is formed by the combination of 1 carbon atom and 4 hydrogen atoms. For example, here this is the methane. Methane is formed by the combination of 1 carbon atom and 4 hydrogen atom, and this is the simplest and fundamental organic compound. The hydrocarbons are classified into two types: saturated hydrocarbons and unsaturated hydrocarbons. The saturated hydrocarbon means the hydrocarbons in which the carbon atoms are linked with single bond. Such hydrocarbons are called as saturated hydrocarbons. For example, methane. That is the CH4, ethane, CH3, single bond CH3, propane, CH3, single bond CH2, single bond CH3, and so on. The hydrocarbon which contains carbon-carbon double bond or triple bond called as unsaturated hydrocarbons. And for example, here ethene, here CH2 double bond CH2. This is the molecular formula of ethene. And next, after this, the propane, that is the propane molecule. CH3 single bond CH double bond CH2. This is the propene. CH triple bond CH. This is the ethyne. And the common name of this is acetylene. Here this is the propyne, C triple bond CH. This is the propyne. These saturated hydrocarbons are called as alkane, and the unsaturated hydrocarbons are classified into two types: alkene and alkyne. Alkene means the hydrocarbon compounds in which carbon linked with double bond called as alkene, and the hydrocarbons in which carbon atom bonds with other carbon atom with triple bond called as alkynes. And the general molecular formula of alkene is CnH2n, and here alkyne, that is CnH2n minus 2. These are the unsaturated hydrocarbons, and here this is the molecular formula of saturated hydrocarbon: CnH2n plus 2. First CH4, which is a methane, C2H6 ethane, C3H8 propane, C4H10 butane, C5H12 pentane. So these are the examples of saturated and unsaturated hydrocarbons. In saturated hydrocarbon, all the valencies are satisfied by a single bond. All the valencies of carbon atoms are satisfied by single bond. In unsaturated hydrocarbon, in alkene, at least one carbon atom or at least two carbon atoms are bonded with double bond. At least one double bond is present in a carbon compounds. Such hydrocarbons are called as alkene. And alkyne, at least one triple bond is present between the two carbon atoms in such carbon compounds called as alkynes. Here this is the ethyne, this is the propyne, and after that butane, pentane, etc. So all these are the examples of hydrocarbons. Thank you. If you want my class in Marathi and Hindi, subscribe my channel, share and comment. Thank you.